Waste management. Learning objectives. Sources of waste. Classification of wastes. Waste disposal. Reducing, reusing and recycling waste. Any material which cannot be used in the form in which it is produced is called a waste. Waste causes soil, water and air pollution and is posing a serious threat to normal way of life of plants, animals and human beings. Sources of waste. Based on their source of origin, wastes are classified into the following broad categories. Domestic waste. These wastes are generated by household activities such as cooking, cleaning, repairs, redecoration, empty containers, packaging, clothing, old books, newspapers, old furnishings, etc. Common type of domestic waste is garbage. Generally, households produce the following wastes. Garbage. It includes animal and vegetable wastes due to various activities like storage, preparation and sale, cooking and serving. Ashes. Residues from the burning of wood, charcoal and coke for cooking and heating in houses, institutions and small industries. Ashes consist of a fine powdery residue, cinders and clinker often mixed with small pieces of metal and glass. Rubbish. Apart from garbage and ashes, other solid wastes produced in households, commercial establishments, and institutions are termed as rubbish. Domestic waste. Garbage. Ashes. Rubbish. Bulky wastes. Bulky wastes are large household appliances such as cookers, refrigerators and washing machines as well as furniture, vehicle parts, tires, wood, trees and branches. The bulky metallic wastes are sold as scrap metal but some portion is disposed as sanitary landfills. Bulky wastes. Industrial wastes. These are discarded solid material of manufacturing processes and industrial operations and are considered separately from municipal wastes. However, solid wastes from small industries, plants and ash from power plants are frequently disposed of at municipal landfills. Major producers of industrial wastes are the thermal power plants producing coal ash, integrated iron and steel mills producing blast furnace slag and steel melting slag, non-ferrous industries like aluminium, zinc and copper producing red mud and tailings, sugar industries generating pressed mud, pulp and paper industries producing lime and fertilizer and allied industries producing gypsum. Management of industrial solid waste is not the responsibility of local bodies. Industries generating solid wastes have to manage by themselves and are required to obtain prior permission from the respective state pollution control boards under relevant rules. Industrial waste. Agricultural wastes. Most farms use their waste in a very ineffective manner, causing pollution of soil, air, and water resources and also the loss of valuable nutrients from the farming system. It includes the following type of wastes. 1. Crop residue, husk and straw, wood and rubber wastes, sawdust, peels of fruits and vegetables etc. are common type of crop residues. These are produced during agriculture practices. 2. Fertilizers and pesticides. Modern agricultural practices use fertilizers and pesticides to increase crop production and protection. Excess of these substances harms soil microorganisms, humans and the environment. 3. Animal wastes. Excretory wastes of most farm animals are rich in nutrients, but these animals generate huge amounts of wastes. Agricultural wastes. Crop residue. Fertilizers and pesticides. Animals wastes. Commercial wastes. Solid wastes generated in offices, wholesale stores, restaurants, hotels, markets, warehouses and other commercial establishments. TH's waste includes waste paper and wrappers, plastic carry bags, soft drink cans, food, leftovers, paper dishes and plastic glasses from restaurants, packing material, etc. Commercial wastes. Hospital wastes. Hospital waste is generated during the diagnosis, treatment, immunization of human beings or animals. It may include wastes like sharp solid waste, disposables, anatomical waste, discarded medicines, chemical wastes, etc. These are in the form of disposable syringes, swabs, bandages, body fluids, human excreta, etc. This waste is highly infectious and can be a serious threat to human health if not managed in a scientific manner. Hospital wastes. Classification of wastes. Based on their biological characteristics, wastes have been put under two categories: biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable wastes. Biodegradable wastes are those wastes that can be decomposed by the microorganisms into simpler substances. This type of waste, if properly handled, causes no harm. Few examples of biodegradable waste are peels and cuttings of fruits and vegetables, cow dung, plant residue, agricultural waste. This type of waste can be recycled by making vermicompost or for preparing biogas. In rural areas, composting of biodegradable wastes has been common. But nowadays, biodegradable wastes are decomposed in biogas plants to generate methane gas, which could be used as a fuel for cooking and lighting. Non-biodegradable waste. Non-biodegradable waste is one which cannot be decomposed by the microorganisms into simpler substances. This type of waste is a matter of serious concern for all of us. Non-biodegradable waste, if not handled properly, causes pollution. Plastic, synthetic pesticides, synthetic fibers, rubber, etc. are organic polymers. Non-biodegradable waste. Activity 17.1. Visit a colony of your area. You will find waste collecting bins are placed at various places. Every morning trucks carry the garbage to a distant place from the colony. Make your observation for a week. Record your finding as to how much solid waste is being produced by the residents of the colony. Waste disposal. All of our waste has to go somewhere, so we need to find the least harmful way of disposing it off. There are some different methods of waste disposal. Waste disposal. Open dumping. A convenient method of solid waste disposal is open dumping of waste in certain selective areas of a town or city. This method is conventional and inexpensive. It creates hazards to public health. This method causes air pollution, groundwater and rainwater pollution. So, this method is gradually being replaced by sanitary landfilling of waste. Open dumping. Sanitary landfilling. It is a widely used method for municipal solid waste disposal. In this method, waste is dumped at a pre-planned site, compacted by rolling with bulldozers. After rolling, land is covered with a layer. This method is used for non-biodegradable waste. Sanitary landfilling. Composting. Composting is the recycling of biodegradable wastes such as vegetable scraps, grass clipping leaves and animal dung. All organic substances naturally turn back into a nutrient-rich soil when composted properly. This is an extremely beneficial process. Composting. Sci facts. From the time the river Yamuna enters Delhi, about 17 million liters of untreated sewage is discharged in it per day. This is in addition to industrial wastes. Activity 17.2. Select a place for making a compost pit. Dig a compost pit into the ground. Collect 2 kilograms of biodegradable waste produced in your kitchen. Mix the compostable waste with the garden waste and animal dung. Fill up the compost pit with one above mixture of wastes. Cover the pit with a thin layer of good quality soil. Wet lightly waste over the composing. Water once or twice in a week to ensure 50 to 60% moisture. Leave the pit for about 3 months for the composting process to get completed. You can also prepare a type of composting which is prepared by worms. This type of composting is called vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is the recycling of organic waste by worms into an extremely rich soil conditioner. Vermicomposting uses small worms such as red regulars or manure worms to break down kitchen scraps. Activity 17.3. Take a box and keep it at a place which is neither too hot nor too cold. Spread a newspaper or a net at the bottom of the box. Organic material is added by digging a small hole over the newspaper or net, adding the scraps and then covering them up with soil. The best things to compost are raw fruit and vegetables, crushed egg shells, tea bags and coffee grounds. Avoiding meat, dairy and greasy foods will keep any foul smells or bugs away. Now cover them loosely with a gunny bag or an old sheet of cloth. Observe the contents of the box carefully after 3 to 4 weeks. You will see that your vermicompost is ready. Reducing, reusing and recycling waste are a part of the larger program for conservation of resources. Red worms vermicomposting. Reduction. Reduction refers to minimizing the amount of waste generated from a given process. It is accomplished by using less polluting materials in place of highly polluting ones, implementing processes that generate less waste. In fact, source reduction is really not about managing waste, but about managing the raw materials more carefully in the first place. Logo of 3R. Reuse of materials. Reuse is the practice of using items again and again with proper repair and maintenance rather than throwing them away. Very often we find spices, sugar, salt and other kitchen items stored in plastic and glass bottles or jars after they are emptied of their original contents. You can reuse these jars and bottles after wash. Plastic jars and bottle. Glass jar. Recycling. Recycling refers to reclaiming materials from the waste products into new products. Most non-biodegradable solid wastes such as glass, metals, paper and plastic items can be recycled. Glass items such as jars, bottles, crockery can be melted down to make new glass items. Plastic items such as plastic bottles, polythene bags and wrappers are another type of waste that can be recycled using suitable technology. Recycling of glass. Paper. Paper of all varieties is recyclable, like writing and printing paper, newspaper, computer paper, wrapping and glossy paper. Thus, the use of recycled paper is becoming very popular. You can recycle paper yourself. Let us see how can. Activity 17.4. Take some waste paper from old books and newspaper and tear into small pieces. Take a half-filled bucket with water and put the torn papers. Soak the paper in the water for 5 to 6 hours. Remove extra water for making pulp out of it. Tearing the paper. Now it becomes soft and fluffy. Spread this pulp on a fine wire mesh, and press it to squeeze out the excess water. Now put some weight over it. Let the pulp dry for several hours. After drying, your handmade recycled paper is ready. Putting the paper in the bucket. Mash the pulp in a bowl. Spread pulp over the wire mesh. Treat paper on the table. Keywords. Wastes. Anything which is thrown away and is useless. Fly ash. An organic residue left after combustion of coal. Garbage. Waste food materials, vegetable and fruit peels, seeds and other organic matter. Non-biodegradable waste. Waste material that cannot be broken down to simple substances by microorganisms. Biodegradable waste. Waste that can be broken down or decomposed by microorganisms. Summary. Wastes are materials that have no value. Different kinds of wastes are domestic wastes, industrial wastes, agricultural wastes, hospital wastes and commercial wastes. Domestic wastes include garbage, rubbish, excreta, ashes and bulky wastes. Industrial wastes include fly ash, smoke, chemicals and other miscellaneous wastes. Agricultural wastes include rice husk, dry stems and straw, weeds, cattle waste. Commercial wastes include wastes from shops, hotels and other commercial establishments. Disposal of waste is best through the dumping, sanitary landfillings and composting. Composting is the recycling of biodegradable wastes. Vermicomposting is the recycling of organic wastes by worms. Reducing, reusing and recycling is a part of the larger program for conservation of resources.